Spooky. Actually, not really. Despite the name and artwork, Risky Woods isn't a scary game, but it certainly is a game. This is a 2D side-scrolling, monster-shooting, platformy kind of game, just like real life. So, the story goes that the monks who preserve the wisdom of the Lost Lands have been frozen in stone by the evil Draxos, and because of this, lots of bad things involving monsters and whatnot have been happening. You control the young warrior Rohan, who bravely enters the Risky Woods to rescue the ancient monks, thus restoring peace and harmony and all the things that make life great. One warning though, not all the monks trapped in stone are good. Some are evil, and when you free them there will be a lot of fire and dangerous evil released. But knowing that some of the monks are evil, how evil must Draxos be to want to trap them too? Is he just indiscriminately evil so that he just figured, I'll encase them all, I gotta get home for dinner soon anyway? Or did he just want to one-up the evil monk's evilness, to show him who really knows something about evil? Either way, you better watch out if you see Draxos coming. Risky Woods is also available on the Commodore Amiga and Atari ST, but I haven't played those versions, and the Genesis/Mega Drive version has some differences from those computer releases. The big difference, it seems, is that in the original, when you kill a monster, a coin might appear, and you can grab these and spend them at the shop at the end of the level, on extra weapons or energy. In the Genesis version, the shops are gone, and instead the monsters drop armor links, and you can collect up to 99 of them. At 33 links, you gain silver armor, which reduces the damage of enemy attacks by half. At 67 links, you gain gold armor, which reduces attack damage to 0. Yep, the monsters can't hurt you. If you think this makes the game a lot easier, you'd be right. But you're not permanently invincible. Every time you get hit, you drop a link, and if you fall below 67, you'll lose the gold armor. That said, you can just pick up the link you dropped, so yeah. The only real way you'd lose a lot of links is by missing a jump and falling off a cliff. It won't kill you, but it does take a good amount of armor links away. But having this gold armor is really not as bad as it sounds, though it does make things much, much easier. But of course, in order to get the armor links, you need some weapons to kill the bad guys. All the weapons are thrown armaments. You start off with knives, but you can get more powerful weapons like an axe or boomerang when you destroy the gatekeepers you'll find in the levels. The gatekeepers are these gargoyle-topped statues that block your path. You'll need to have previously picked up the 2 halves of the gate key in order to defeat the gatekeeper. You do this by pressing the chant button. This will throw the key into the gate, then you have to press chant again, and the gatekeeper will show a little directional combo that you have to replicate on the D-pad. It's very easy at first, it's only a little 3-step combo that you have to do, but by the time you get to the end, the pattern will be much longer, which can be a little hard to remember, especially as you're rushing to finish the level before time runs out. Oh right, I forgot to mention that the levels are timed. You have 4 minutes to reach the end, and if you don't, well, you have to start back at the beginning, which isn't necessarily the worst thing, because you get back whatever amount of armor links you started with. It can actually be strategic to let time run out if you've made some mistakes and lost armor. But having the levels timed is actually an important feature of Risky Woods. When I first played this game, I thought, wow, this is tough, but of course you get used to it. You gain the silver and gold armor, and it becomes easier, but even though you're basically free from taking damage, you still feel rushed trying to get through the levels in time. But of course you get better still, and then I think the game becomes something different than just a traditional side-scroller. It kind of feels like a racing game through an obstacle course. Because the levels aren't very long, there's no time for exploration, but no real need to anyway. All the chests that give extra items are in the same place with the same items every time. The monks are always in the same spots, so really it's kind of like a game designed for speedruns. You get a lot of bonus points for each remaining second of time you have at the end of the levels, so the test becomes not any tricky platforming sequences, but just learning the levels and zooming through them as fast as possible. This is actually quite fun, though I need a lot of work on going really fast. The only thing that hurts this style of gameplay are the boss levels. There are 4 of them, and to me they are uninspired. They really break up the fast pace you've just been playing at. and I admit I'm very sloppy playing these boss battles. Once you have the gold armor, they're pretty easy to just get through. Also, there are skulls you can get from chests during the game that allow you to do a special attack that does a lot of damage, especially when you have the gold armor, and I just save those for the boss and use it then so I can get through it faster. But despite those levels, I still like Risky Woods. It's not a long game, and if you're looking for a traditional kind of side-scrolling, shooting, fighting, monstering kind of game that challenges you with tricky platforming stages, this probably isn't it. But if you think of it like a hybrid, side-scrolling, racing, shooting, monstering, riskifying, obstacle forest game, then you might enjoy it. One thing's for sure is that it's got a lot of fast-paced action while it lasts, and looks and sounds really good. So take a risk and risk the Risky Woods on the Sega Genesis.
If you dare.